Hello and welcome back to Film Exaggeration. Hilary, my arch nemesis. We meet again.
Nah, I'm just kidding. She seems like a very nice person. I have no problems with her at all. But she does appear to be a recurring person in my videos, and it might be because she is one of my more nostalgic celebrities. She was one of those people who was always around, and thanks to my sister, I have extensive knowledge of her filmography. She didn't own many movies on DVD, but about half of them had Duff in them. From Aging Cody Banks, to Cheaper by the Dozen, to Raise Your Voice, to Cinderella Story, to the previously reviewed Perfect Man.
In fact, after that review, she lent me another movie that she's owned for a while, and, well, guess it's finally time to cover it so I can give the DVD back. Material Girls.
Material Girls.
Released in 2006 and originally meant as a vehicle for the Olsen twins before the Duff sisters were cast, Material Girls was directed by Martha Coolidge, who's directed other girl movies. And I mean girl as in Valley Girl and City Girl. The writers include the team of Jessica O'Toole and Amy Radin, who mostly work on TV with shows like The Carrie Diaries and Jane the Virgin. And the other writer is John Quaintance, who also had mostly worked on TV and his only other movie credits were Aquamarine and later Hot Pursuit. Loosely based on the novel Sense and Sensibility, the movie opened at number 9 at the box office and ended up barely breaking even. Reception was very bad, sitting at 4% on Rotten Tomatoes, and would end up being listed as the 46th worst reviewed movie of the 2000s, a 17 on Metacritic and a 3.9 on IMDb. But before we begin, one more piece of trivia. Hilary isn't just co-starring in this movie, she's also a producer on it.
Well, let's see if this was worth a 4% or if we were a little too hard on it back then. This is Material Girls.
So we begin exactly how you expect, with a cover of Madonna's Material Girls by the Duff sisters. Okay, I'm actually recording this several weeks after first seeing this, and I've been listening to this cover a lot. It is that catchy. So Hilary and Haley played Tanzania and Ava Marchetta, respectively. Yes, Hilary's character is named Tanzania, which is literally a country in Africa. I'm not sure if naming a white girl after an African country is racist, but don't worry, she mostly goes by a nickname, Tansy.
One of our main characters' names is Tans!
Anyway, the two are socialites, daughters of some big-time CEO of a makeup company named Victor Marchetta, and they head to a club where we get wipe transitions because it was the 2000s.
Spoiler alert, by the way. I mean, I know I've complained about these in, like, the Sleepover and New York Minute reviews, but oh my god. They are so much worse here. They are so pointless, and they happen all the damn time.
Anyway, they meet up with the movie's gay, played by Larry from Even Stevens, named Etienne? Yeah, that. And Ava's engaged to a man named Mick. Bitch, you're 20. May want to hold off a little bit. He's apparently on this show called Long Island.
It's Love Island for men with really big dicks.
Come with us. Tara Reid and Fritters are gonna karaoke.
2000s. Also, be careful. Durst might get you to try to watch one of his movies.
Tansy mentioned how she didn't want to come tonight and instead stay home and fill out college applications. Oh, so Tansy is the smart one in this movie where Hilary was one of the producers? Interesting. The next day, we see Tansy working on those applications, and if you want any more evidence to prove this movie's 2000s-ness, we have TiVo, as she starts watching a news program about their dad who has died. How did he die? We don't know. They also have a Spanish maid named Inez, played by Maria Conchito Alonso.
Oh, really? You go to a lot of screenings? Yeah. Well, your next one's going to be from the Slammer. You're on TV, pal. For Channel 10 News, I'm Ned McMorris. And you
are ripping people off.
Man, Gotcha went really downhill when they replaced Gabe Coulier with an Asian dude.
Random Phasmo! Oh, and there's this cute valet at the office named Rick, played by Marcus Colonna. So they head inside and meet up with their trustee Tommy, played by Data from Star Trek, Brent Spiner. Oh, there's also Jaden.
She's our new intern.
Hi, Jaden. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
God, I hope this movie doesn't try to do a domestic abuse subplot.
Also, I don't know if this is just something with this DVD in particular, but the audio mixing is not good, which wouldn't be so bad except there's a character named Rick, a character named Vic, and a character named Mick, so it got a little confusing. Alright, let's count the cliches here. So these two are going to be taking over the business after their dad died. The business isn't doing well because they have no new products, and they are thinking of selling the company to their father's biggest rival.
I mean, we could pay off our creditors and still have a unit for each of you.
A eunuch?
Unit, 100 mil. And you girls could spend that cheddar however you'd like.
Oh, well that's perfect, take the damn deal. So let's get this out of the way now. Hilary and Haley are not very good. They even got Razzie nominations for this. They're trying, but these characters are so dull and one-dimensional that I don't think anyone can make them interesting. In fact, I feel like they should be selling me mints.
You're right.
You're so right.
It's liquid. It's ice.
It's both.
It's liquid. It's ice. It's Icebreaker's liquid ice in 3 favorite flavors. He's right.
He's so right.
That commercial's been living rent-free in my head for about 20 years.
Although to be fair, most of these characters are shallow and boring. I can't tell if this is supposed to be satirical or not. Between the fake caring about charities and their friends caring only about the gift bags while Tommy is giving a speech about their dead father, there's just a ton of fakeness, especially when they talk to this woman named Fabiella Dumont, played by Angelica Huston.
She's third billed, by the way, despite being in maybe 15% of the movie.
Finally, about 20 minutes in, our conflict starts. The guests see a live news report on their phones in 2006, and it turns out the Marchetta products cause skin rashes. Not exactly a good sign when a major plot point in your film was also a major one in Catwoman. So now the girls are ostracized, chased home by the press. Alright, it took a while for the plot to start. Now what?
Do something!
Well, they do. They get facials. Yay. The paparazzi is outside, causing the girls to fight, and not to take sides, but Ava's kind of a bitch.
Not everything is always about you, Tansy. No, it never is, unless it's you telling me what to do. All I do is try to help you, and you know what? Sometimes it gets so annoying.
And, well, I wanted excitement. How about a house fire after Tansy tosses a lit cigarette?
You wanted to go to college, right? Don't think you'll last long there.
Hi, stop it! Hi, Jack! Let's just hurry, get out! Daddy's Timo!
Idiot!
Did they just add CGI smoke to that fire?
They try to get a room at a hotel, but the front desk lady says their card is declined. And listen to the music. Didn't know Gary the Snail was composing this. Turns out that Tommy canceled all their cards for safety reasons, so they head to Inez's house to ask if they can stay. But not before giving their car keys to 2 strangers thinking they're valets.
The keys are inside, okay? Just gotta be careful.
Thank you.
Hi, Madam Brothers from Good Charlotte. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. After all, Joel was dating Hilary at the time, despite the fact that he was in his mid-20s while she was in her mid-teens.
Anyway, Inez does let them stay and lets them sleep in her daughter's beds. Her daughters are not in the country due to... what is it?
Have you ever heard of post-9/11 immigration delays?
Somehow that is very much of its time and also not dated in the slightest. So Ava continues to be a bitch, and then we get this.
Do something!
Jesus, this woman has a lot of crosses. So she gives them some of their old clothes and leaves to get a new job since they can't pay her anymore.
Oh, and girls, please behave. Don't burn down the house.
I know that's a joke, but there's a not insignificant chance that that could happen. Don't leave these two alone. So since their car is stolen, they have to ride the bus with the filthy pores.
Why did they start like that? It smells in here.
I know.
Hey!
Why do I I get the feeling that something similar is going to happen here that happened to Amy on Sex Education.
Random Phasmo! So they get to what is supposed to be Ava's engagement announcement party, but security isn't letting them in. I do like this one guard, though.
Yeah, I know who you are. My mama used to like to wear your lipstick.
Yeah, but I bet if she had the same skin shade as you, she'd like the, raspberry.
Mama died last year. Maybe now I know why.
Even the gay won't help them.
He worships us. Well, he was gonna go straight for us.
I'm sure he would have, honey. Mick officially breaks it off with Ava, and they head to the board meeting. Turns out their father knew that the makeup caused skin problems, but sold it anyway. Because of this, their sales plummet. And that other company are offering them a much lower sum than before, and they only have 30 days before they agree to sell. Then suddenly, the girls completely change sides. Now Ava is defending Dad, while Tansy is saying he screwed up.
Come on, let's just go in there and vote to sell this stupid company that Dad totally screwed up. Hey, look, Daddy wasn't perfect, okay? But getting things right was so important to him.
What happened?
They leave, and thankfully Rick helps them. More silly editing as the press follows them.
And I never welch on a debt, despite what you might read in the papers.
Don't worry. I'll collect on that later. And I never believe what I read in the papers.
Good.
Okay, Hilary Duff was like 17 when making this. This guy was like 26. Granted, maybe with who she was dating at the time, perhaps this was used to make her better relate to the character.
Alright, so I forgot to mention earlier they met a lawyer named Henry, played by Lucas Haas, who helps low-income people, so they ask for help, but he refuses.
Our privilege got taken away from us.
Shit happens. I mean, it's a coincidence that I can't pay my phone bill on the same day that my student loan is overdue, but...
Okay, one, stop reminding me of my own issues, and also, you can say shit in a PG movie? In 2006? This film is not very fun. Like, I was expecting something wacky, but it's surprisingly depressing. Like when Inez asked them to clean her house, which may be not a good idea given what they did to their own, but it may have been funny if they fucked it up and there were silly shenanigans, but not really. Instead we get this.
Oh, damn, that's a heavy door.
It's doing anything.
I'm Aaron.
Do something! I mean something important!
More weird editing choices that make me feel like I'm watching a very weird Lizzie McGuire episode where Lizzie and Amy are part of a spy ring, so they disguise themselves as janitors. Okay, but they manage to find the file with all the test subjects for the bad makeup and Rick helps them escape. Oh, and it turns out he's not a valet.
We don't have a parking attendant.
Oh, really?
I parked your car because I'm nice.
Sure you are, dude.
Why do we have dogs?
Got him last year after all the break-ins.
We had break-ins?
You guys really didn't pay any attention to the business, did you?
No, apparently not.
Dude, are you sure you want to date her? I mean, even taking out the age thing, she's kind of an idiot.
They escape by jumping into a dumpster, and the next day they go to a meeting with Fabiella, who offers them $30 million each. That is a very good deal. There is absolutely no reason not to take it. Alright, here's something really weird about this movie. There is a lot of business talk, and it's actually pretty confusing.
I want you girls to be the face of my new life.
I have a meeting to go to right now.
Fabiella is going to make an offer on this company.
It'd be like an investment. This is Daddy's legacy.
Pulled himself up by his bootstraps.
Let's go see some charities and earn ourselves a tax credit.
Now, I've got the market cornered on the 35 and ups, and you've got the Gen Y crowd.
There's no records of this in the files.
The numbers come in from Fabiola tomorrow where I expect them.
60 cents on the dollar for all our private stuff.
Someone had to have fabricated those testimonials.
And this is an excellent opportunity for the shareholders.
We needed proof to convince the stockholders to believe in us.
I threatened to sue, but Nakamori won't give up his source.
It's expected that when Marchetta Cosmetics shareholders vote in less than 2 weeks.
I was having a hard time following it, and I'm 30 years old. I'm trying to think of a tween girl watching this and figuring out what's going on. So they call the test subjects and learn that no one got any long-lasting side effects, and anything that was a problem got changed. Oh, and remember Henry? Well, turns out him and Ava might have a thing for each other. Where did that come from? That was never even hinted at. Here's my favorite part. Tansy sees more of the interview with the victim on TV, and then remembers her father's TiVo news show, which was about skin diseases, and sees they are the same person.
That's right, folks. TiVo saved the day.
So to find out who the woman is, she sneaks into the news station in a very provocative outfit, and her boobs make the desk guy's brain go doo. So he lets her in. She finds the name of the woman, but gets caught and thrown in jail. Back with Ava and Henry.
Where is your mom anyway?
She's in Europe with an Egyptian prince. She changed her name to Isis, and she calls us her cousins.
What? Your mama's alive and living in Egypt with a prince after changing her name to Isis? You don't just drop that an hour and 11 minutes in.
Back with Tansy in a jail cell.
Is this gonna get really dark?
Why is it shot like this?
If I could just get myself more organized.
You got some soft skin.
No, keep it PG, 2006 PG. Don't worry, they just want to know about her makeup. Remember, makeup brings all women together, regardless of class, race, orientation. Women just love makeup. Ava needs money for bail.
What kind of criminal has $20,000? What is wrong with the justice system?
Movie, you're not allowed to make actual commentary about how America runs. So she pawns her father's watch and gets Tansy out, leaving the other women to rot in prison. Should have been born rich, ladies. No, seriously, we never see them again. So they rent a car and head out to find the woman from the interview. But when they do, she tells them that it was absolutely the makeup that caused it. And once again, they completely switch with Ava wanting to give up. But thankfully, her neighbor just so happens to come over and tell them that she had a skin condition since birth. This convinces them to go see that Asian reporter.
Sorry, I'm busy. We're about to go to national feed.
Are you too busy to hear about a high-powered CEO involved in stock fraud?
Oh, please, there's a story like that every other week.
So I guess they solved the mystery. I don't believe that for a second. But at the meeting that's supposed to merge the two companies, we see Jaden again.
Your nose. It looks kind of like mine. You were my inspiration.
Is that supposed to be heartwarming or a commentary? Okay, so through more confusing business talk that most tween girls probably wouldn't be able to follow, it turns out that the person who set it all up was...
Tommy, our trustee.
Of course! What?
Daddy didn't leave you his company, so you decide to steal it?
You devalued our stock and you framed Fabiella.
So he committed several crimes to make the company less profitable in a merger, so there would be a merger.
That's dumb. Hell, earlier they were offering over $100 million, but after this they were only offering $30 million. And they even said that was them being generous. You are a dumb person.
You wannabe player. Trying to step to these babies like a cheap soothsayer.
Oh please, you're one to talk. The picture on your Wikipedia page is from your high school yearbook. So 6 months pass, Ava's the new CEO and dating Henry. This actor is 9 years older, so he would be pushing 30 dating a 20-year-old. You know, earlier in the movie, Fabiella said to never date younger men, and I think they took that to heart by dating men 10 years older than them. Mick got killed off his TV show, so he's desperate for work.
Karma!
And Tansy is working on being a chemist with Henry. Inez finally gets her daughters, and I can think of no better way to end this than with a horrifying CG billboard.
Nah.
It's not good, the plot is thin and surprisingly confusing for a movie made for children. The acting's hit and miss, it doesn't know if it wants to be a satire or genuine, and it's mostly just kind of dull. There's not much humor, a lot of the movie is just kind of meanders, and we spend a lot of the movie with the two leads miserable. But on the other hand, I've seen My Scene Goes Hollywood. In terms of vapid, cheap cash-ins for tween girls, this is not the worst you can do. It's mostly harmless with a few what the fuck moments sprinkled throughout. I don't recommend it, but if a kid really wants to watch it, I guess there's no harm.
Well, thanks, sis. Guess I got some mileage out of that. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. I'm going on like fucking 5.5 hours of sleep over the last 36 hours. So let's see what we can do.